Again, I wanted to show you just how clever and elaborate this scheme is. Now, you see we had Officer Thompson say this person could be involved in a very elaborate scheme. Let me show you just how elaborate it is. Now, we made this complaint, as you see here, about this mail carrier, right? Back in 2019. Of course, it was blocked because now we realize we come to find out this person been tunneling us. That's how we understood that we was being surveillance. They were tunneling us when we use our phones, telling us stuff we said, and we saw people that we contacted to come to our house. They had them doing stuff like other people they have coming around, driving around backwards and stuff. So we understood when we call this person coming to our house, he's driving and acting the same way these other people do. How in the hell how did you get in touch with this person? We know you done got in touch with him, but how? Oh, now, because you called them, and before they got here, they was instructed on what to do. But let's just get into this here. Okay, now you see that OIG. Now here's this person here. Let me show you just how elaborate this scheme is. Here's this person pretending to be answering us. It's going to block, initially it's going to block this investigation, but having us, leading us on, making us believe that it's going to be a real investigation on this character. Now here they are. You see that I just showed you when I was trying to, we sent out a thing trying to notify the OIG. And then here's this fraud that responds back to us, right? This person's not real. They're using a real special agent name, but they're not real, okay? Let's just skip to this here. It's very elaborate. It's very elaborate. This guy here, he's sent to our house to act out. He's aware of the fake warrant and everything. He's aware of the fake mailman. He's here to try to guide us to this OIG person. He's here acting out a role. He's role playing. This guy's role playing as if he's a special agent and he's really here to raid our house on a bus for that warrant that they done got, illegal warrant. So you see what he's telling me. He's telling us that he wants us to believe that he's a real postal inspector. Listen at him.
That ID that he's saying is...
He's my team leader.
He's your team leader. Okay, thank you, sir.
And what team are you over?
We're over the mail theft.
Mail theft?
Yes.
So
mail theft and external fraud.
So are you who are you? Are you a postal inspector?
Yes, sir.
You're a federal postal inspector.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're a supervisor.
And he's saying
Okay.
And he said he doesn't see that the
he said they don't investigate pretty much themselves.
Exactly. So from my standpoint, he's an employee.
You don't investigate yourself.
Paul Cooper is an employee, but we don't know who that man is. Paul Cooper.
So he's here with the role of pretending that he's here to just really be concerned about this person who's pretending to be a postal inspector. Now, this is the ID this is him, the guy you see with the mask on. This is the ID he's wearing around his neck. So he's been identified by Cobb County. But here's the thing about Cobb County Police. We have not, as of yet, heard a statement from Cobb Police to explain why they escorted the man. Now, the man telling us the reason he got 3 Cobb County Police out here with him is because he wanted them to come to show that he was legitimate. Okay? Now, this is what a U.S. Postal Inspector would be telling you some crap like that, right? Now, Cobb County Police is a county police. They have nothing to do with the federal government, right? But if you look at this video, I can show you a bit. The 3 Cobb County officers out there, it appears that our house is being raided. This goes on along with what the fake poster, these people was pretending to be agents that's going around telling people they got a warrant to get illegal wiretaps and all this and that. You got to have a warrant. You got to have the warrant got to be that you're going to raid something. You got something to get. You can't have you can't do illegal wiretapping. You can't do wiretapping and be legal without having a warrant, right? A search warrant. He's here pretending that he's executing a search warrant. He's playing out the role.
This truck disappeared. My wife was there by herself. She called me and said, hey.
He's pretending that he's a real mail employee. Look, even have someone on the ground, a neighbor, who's acting as an agent, a special agent, a secret agent, pushing a baby before he get here to give him the location on our camera so he can park his Jeep Cherokee on the other side to avoid his tag being caught. You see what's going on? We're around a bunch of special agents, people that pretend to be agents, even neighbors. You see what she just did with her neck? She's a special agent. This is a neighbor. I don't know this lady. Listen at this. This the morning up before this man showed up.
I think you're watching my house. I think you're spying on my house. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
See, that's another person that's coming around to just be a jogger, right? This is a person who just coming around to be a jogger. And this man is here to convince us that he's a real postal inspector. That's not it. And telling us that the reason, because we were asked, my wife was asked, why is the police here? Why is Cobb County police here? And he's telling us, well, they followed me here. I asked them to follow me here because I want you to know that I'm legitimate. But it turns out Cobb County themselves have already stated the man is wearing a fake ID.
I feel like you should feel properly represented and have somebody get to the bottom of what satisfied with this.
No, I want the picture of his ID with the.
But he's here. He's only here to talk about this person that's riding around in a mail truck delivering mail illegally. There's no raid at our house. But when you look at it, we tell you how the neighbor's camera is being used. I'm pretty sure it appears to people that we have been raided. I'm trying to get to the point where he tells you that he's legitimate, that he wants to know he's legitimate. Trying to get to the reason why he said he brought Cobb County with him. I'm trying to get to that point there, where he say why he gives the excuse why he brought Cobb County police with him. Yeah, this is crazy. But these people have orchestrated a whole scheme, have played a whole role out at our house. They have played a whole, this is what he said. Listen to him what he said. My wife asked him, why is the 3 Cobb County police officers out in front of our house, walking around our house? And this is what he said. This is his response.
Legitimate. I want you to show that I'm legitimate. So that's why they're out here to show my legitimacy.
Yeah, this is a picture.
But no, you're here to, one, lie to us and pretend that you're an agent, and you're not. You work at the Atlanta airport. You're a total fraud. And you're here to get the people that's running the con game that done went and got an illegal search warrant that's illegal, done lied. So now you're going to be used for 2 things. One, to lie and keep this lie going that the man is valid, that's been riding around in the mail truck for over 3 years, delivering mail, court mail, and all type of crap, illegally. And you also here to make it appear that you're doing a bust. You're doing what that warrant said you here for. So I guess you're here because of some mail crimes, right? Listen to him again.
Legitimate. I want you to show that I'm legitimate. So that's why they're out here to show my legitimacy.
Yeah, this is a picture.
You see the scam? Did you see how clever, how elaborate this scheme is? Do you see how elaborate this scheme is? Do you see how elaborate it is? Do you see how elaborate this scheme is? And here go Cobb County now. The same ones that brought the man here, escorted the man to our property. This is what they have to say about this man ID.
Picture, he's saying this is the same person.
Yeah, it's not the same guy. That guy looks kind of Hispanic, and that guy looks white, straight up white. Yeah. So,
Not the same person. But right now, we don't know what happened, what miscommunication that happened with Cobb County, because Cobb County definitely has some explaining to do why they brought this man along, right? And it appears that it's been a bust, but the man made sure not what he did, what he made sure not to do, because it was hot as I don't know what outside. We said, come inside and we can talk. He made sure not to step. He stepped in the garage. As far as I'm concerned, that you did step in my house. You stepped in the garage. But he made sure not to actually step inside of the house itself. But he did step in the garage because he knew he had no rights and he was only here to perform and pretend that he was doing a bust, when in reality he wasn't. A raid at our house to get out of this warrant that they done created, this fake warrant. And because we've been taunted with this, because now this person know that they can't use anything, they can't frame us with anything. Now they're just taunting us with it. That's how it became that we just now realizing that our phone's been tapped. Listen to this is what they said about this person. This the same person they brought to our house. They escorted the man to our house.
And now we have come to determine that this guy here actually came to our house and said that he was a postal inspector. Come here. This guy here claimed that he was a postal inspector. Okay. He claimed to be a U.S. postal inspector. This guy right here. Okay. This is supposed to be the same guy.
not the same guy.
Of course it's not the same guy. But this is the badge he wore. He had an ID, actually. And then he's standing here talking to us, saying he's a postal inspector. But this is his picture. He's saying this is the same person.
Yeah, it's not the same guy. That guy looks kind of Hispanic, and that guy looks white, straight up white. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. All right. Let me get you a case number, then I'll.
Okay.
So do you see the frame job that's taking place right before your eyes? He's here to say that he's supposed to inspect, and he's guiding us to the OIG person. We just showed you that we done went to this person, and you see how we've been blocked. He's here because this man has been riding around in a mail truck for over 3 years, pretending to be this man. This man is a white man that works in Gaithersburg, Maryland. So that man's here not only just to lie to us about this man being this man, which you clearly see is not, but he's also here to play a role or act. And I'm pretty sure neighbor cameras being utilized for the role that's being played. He have a tape recorder in his pocket. We sitting here looking at him with a big old tape recorder in his pocket. He recording everything that's being said. But he's a fraud. You just heard the police officer, he's wearing a fake ID. The man got another ID on. He's so sloppy in his con game that he's wearing an ID. He had the ID that where he really worked for the airport inside the pouch. That's how sloppy this guy is. Right? That's how ridiculous this is, right?
I feel like you should feel properly represented and have somebody get to the bottom of what you're satisfied with this.
No, I want the picture of his ID with the blonde hair.
Yeah, that's the picture.
He got blonde hair. He got blonde hair and a blonde mustache right there. That's not that same. I guarantee you. I swear to you. That picture you showing me now. Hold on. That picture you showing to me right now. I guarantee you that is not the same picture you have right now. I guarantee you there's no way.
I understand.
There's no way. Yeah, I understand too.
And the
Look
picture in the picture.
at that.
And a
Look at
picture.
that man with that mustache. Hold on. Move. Let me get it. Look at this man with this mustache here.
So I understand what
He's going to tell you he can't see, I think. He can't see.
Sir, I'm telling you from my point of view, that's the same.
So they got the postal inspector to write up some.
Postal ID, like I said, they're the ones who handle, because he's an employee. That's what he is.
Who is an employee?
Mr. Cooper, that person in your
Mr. Cooper is we know you have an employee, Mr. Cooper. We don't know about that man.
That's Mr. Cooper.
But who is, why?
The man in every single photo, the delivery driver.
But, as you see, he's surely trying to convince us. And the person he's telling us to go to is this person here, who we already made a complaint to, and they pretend to be a special agent as well, right? Do you see the scheme? So they're blocking an investigation, a federal investigation. They have brought the people here to act out a role. Now, what's wrong with it is Cobb County somehow got involved with it. This man have convinced them that he was a special agent. But then the Cobb County come back and acknowledge that the man is wearing a fake ID. You heard what they said about that man. Now, this is what they said. This is what Cobb County police officer said about the man that's riding around in the mail truck. Listen at his words very carefully. Pay attention to what he say from word from word. Listen at word from word what this officer say. Officer Thompson from Cobb County Police.
This could be a potential violation of company policy. We don't enforce company policy at a post office. We'll do a report saying that this person could be a part of an elaborate fraud scheme. He's delivering mail illegally in a U.S. postal truck and wearing a false ID of a white guy when he's a black guy. All right. That makes sense with everything I just said?
So because we're being framed, right? Because we're being framed, they done went out and got a judge to grant them a warrant, a search warrant. That's how they got a wiretap. And that search warrant, they got to show now why they got it. They got this guy in here to back them up and act out a role to pretend it was a warrant. But the warrant, you got to come in my house and get something, right? You making sure you keep your ass outside of my house because you know what you're doing is totally illegal. And now we need Cobb County to tell us why, publicly tell us why they brought this man here to our house. And we even had neighbors that morning before the man showed up, pretending they was investigators and they are spies and they're special agents working for that man. Our neighbors claiming he's a special agent. And then you see what he say. He claimed he's a special agent.
That ID that he's saying is...
He's my team leader.
He's your team leader. Okay, thank you, sir.
And what team are you over?
We're over the mail theft.
Mail theft?
Yes.
So
Mail theft and external fraud.
So are you who are you? Are you a postal inspector?
Yes, sir.
You're a federal postal inspector.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And your supervisor.
And he's saying
Okay.
And he said he doesn't see that the
Well, he said they don't investigate pretty much themselves.
Exactly.
So you see that he admitted, claiming that he's a U.S. postal inspector. And he's not. He's a fraud. And he's an actor as well. He's here to act out the role. He's here to pretend that he's here working on that warrant that these cons have put together here. You see this con game?
Investigations of internal fraud with employees. The reason we do that is because we're technically under the postal roof, so it has to be an outside agency.
Okay, so
you don't do it.
So the reason I showed up today is because there was an allegation of somebody, an outside person, being a postal employee.
Okay.
My investigation shows that's not true. I understand you disagree with that.
Okay.
So that's why I responded today.
Okay.
If you have allegations of fraud or theft or something like that with an internal employee, it's Postal OIG. That's Office of Inspector General. So
Okay.
they would investigate me too if I did something wrong. So we
Okay.
can't investigate our own just to kind of have a separation of that.
Okay.
I would reach out to them. I will also kick it to my boss to see if, and postal management, if they want to sit down and have a meeting with you guys. I can't promise.
I think you need to get...
So you see this guy's a total con artist. He's a total con. And he's running a total con game at our property.
What's the postmaster? Mr. Pickett. Okay, so that's the person we've been contacting.
He's like, yep, that's Mr. Cooper. So I went on Mr. Cooper's route. He's operating a postal vehicle. He had his postal ID on him, which to me matched the picture.
The postal ID is not the same what you just showed us, though.
I think it is. I understand you don't. In addition to that, his driver's license matched his postal ID. So yes, I verified who he was.
Okay.
He's working hard to convince us the man is valid, and also, what we're not aware of at the time, he's here acting out a role that he's here to pursue a search warrant at our property. And some kind of way he have convinced Cobb County Police to, now they're the only real law enforcement that's there, because he's not a law enforcement. So now he have law enforcement, right? Which is Cobb County Police. He's not. And he have convinced them to come along. And it appears, when you look at that, it appears now the people who's doing this scheme can go distribute tapes to people and say, we done a bust at their property.
My investigation shows that's not true. I understand you disagree with that.
Okay.
So that's why I responded today.
Okay.
If you have allegations of fraud or theft or something like that with an internal employee, it's postal OIG. That's Office of Inspector.
Everything he wants us to do is go to the OIG. Everything that come out of his mouth is all about us going to the OIG.
We want a report that you investigated something. That's what we want. Because your report should identify how you investigated, what you did.
Send you something about a letterhead.
Now, you don't do postal inspectors don't do letterhead, do they? No. Okay, I don't know.
So he can't even give us a report. Someone that's executing a search warrant.
Responded today. If you have allegations of fraud or theft or something like that with an internal employee, it's postal OIG. That's Office.
Postal OIG. Postal OIG. Hello, my name is, I'm a special agent with the USPS OIG. They're looking into the conduct of a carrier. But really, I'm going to send somebody over here that's going to pretend to be a postal inspector. We're going to create a scene at your property. They're going to swindle the police, the Cobb County Police, to ride with them. And this is a issue where we have to have the chief of police explain to us a public announcement. How in the world did this man convince them, his officers, that he was a real federal agent and he really was a fraud? He had no marked car, he had no badge, he had an ID of a different person around his neck. What did he say when he called them? What name did he give? What supervisor did he use? What did he do? We got some serious stuff going on. We got a real crime that's been acted out right in front of the police. This crime have been acted out right in front of Cobb County. Cobb County is dead smack in the middle of a crime that's taking place. Cobb County Police is dead smack and involved in a federal crime that have taken place right in front of them. Cobb County Police. These people have came to our house. So now they're here to do two things. One, to lie and keep the fraud going so they can ultimately frame us. One, to lie and keep the fraud going about the man being a poster, a mail carrier. He's not. You heard what Officer Thompson said about the ID the man wearing. You heard what the Officer Smith said about the man who's pretending to be a postal inspector. So he's here to do two things. One, to keep the fraud going, to explain why someone is delivering court mail and all type of other mail in a mail truck for 3 years while we're in court for over 3 years, right? Why is he delivering all that mail? And why, and then now, how did you get a search warrant to come to our property? So he's here to reenact. The reason I want the police is not here. I ain't got the police here because I want you to know I'm legitimate. The police here, yeah, I do. I'm trying to fool you. But they're here for more than that. They're here so it'll appear that you're being busted. But the only problem is you're bringing the Cobb County Police when you're supposed to be a federal agent. You're supposed to have the OIG. You're supposed to have the postal inspectors supposed to be at our house. If we done some type of criminal fraud with the federal, if you got a warrant, They should be here doing a bus. But you're pretending you're doing a bus. That's what you're doing. That goes right along with this warrant we're talking about here. I mean, man, this is very serious, man.